Hello everyone and happy Monday. I hope you're all doing well out there. I am Morgana Bright, High Priestess of the Maiden Circle Coven, and I am doing a weekly tarot reading. As I've mentioned before, I am essentially a beginner. Although I have been using tarot for many years, I have not been reading actively for other people. So I am using these videos as a way to practice and to hone my skill. As I mentioned last week, I am doing free readings for people. Just let me know in the comments so that I can further my practice. I'll record a reading for you privately, or I can do it via Skype. This week's reading is for the week of March 26th to April 1st, and as usual, I'll be reading the cards intuitively, meaning I'll be saying basically what they mean to me. This is a mixture of my own intuition and what I have been learning from my practice over time. Afterwards, I'll be reading what the companion book says about the card. I am using the Gilded Tarot Companion Book by Barbara Moore. Thank you again for joining me. Thank you for your liking and your subscribing. And if you believe that this reading applies to someone you know, please share it. Every share is helpful to me, and it makes making these videos feel that much nicer. So let's get started. I'll be reading a card for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The card for Monday is a Ten of Wands. We actually got this card last week in a different kind of reading, and it means essentially the same. You are coming to the end of a lot of hard work. You might feel like you have a burden on Monday. You might feel like all the work that you're doing is weighing you down, or it's too much, or it's unnecessary even. But it's not. It's not more than you can handle, and it's definitely not unnecessary. Like, if you're taking the steps towards your own goals and towards personal fulfillment, it's not always going to be easy. I think Monday is a day for you to recognize that. Recognize that you have work ahead of you. And even if, especially if last week's reading resonated with you, then you definitely have new responsibilities. You have new goals to achieve. And that means you have a lot of new work. But she's still behind you. The earth is still supporting you. You are still on the right path, and you're closer to the end than you might think. So be aware on Monday that you're working hard, but it's for something good, and you're so close to achieving your goal. Recognize that. Recognize just how close you really are to being able to drop your burdens and see real success, real growth, real change. Let's see what the book says about the Ten of Wands. You are nearly finished with an arduous task. You may be exhausted, but the light at the end of the tunnel, like a beautiful sunrise, gives you the determination to see this through. Draw on your most basic instincts for the strength to finish what you've started. Be aware of stopping too soon. Do not let the relief of seeing the end of the situation cause you to falter. Rather, let it focus your actions. The card for Tuesday is, wow, it's the Seven of Cups. So again, there's a sense of balance. There's a sense of success. There's a sense of having everything that you need available to you. But on Tuesday, it's your job to suss that out. It's your job to figure out what you actually need out of all of the things that are available to you. You have options. You have a lot of options for the direction you want to take, for what you want to do for this week. So it's up to you to decide which choice you're going to make. And all of them look good. All of them look like something you want. But you can't have all of them. And some of them, even if they look good, are not going to benefit you. So it's your choice to discern between the good options and the distracting options. It's your choice to decide if you're going to follow steps towards achieving goals, or if you're going to instead try to satisfy instant gratification needs. Trying to satisfy a part of yourself that is maybe a little more selfish. So take a look at what is around you. Take a look at the options that are around you, at what's being presented to you and what's being offered to you. And try to be as discerning as you can before you accept any of it. Let's see what the book says about the Seven of Cups. You are faced with many choices, opportunities, and dreams. Find inspiration from them where you can. Acknowledge them as distractions if they take you from the path you have chosen. Be aware of becoming overcome by the power of these distractions. They may be enticing, and you may enjoy entertaining them for a time, but you may regret that choice in the long run. The card for Wednesday is Three of Cups. This is so weird. I got all three of these cards last week. It's interesting that we're getting these. And Wednesday is a day to celebrate. So if Tuesday you made the right choice, from all the work that you've been doing, you had some opportunities and you chose the right thing, you can celebrate on Wednesday. Alternatively, you didn't choose the right thing, but it feels good and you're celebrating anyway. But I am sensing that if you did choose wisely, if you made a choice that is going to benefit you in the long run, you're already seeing results. You're already seeing the boon that is for you, and you're feeling better. You're feeling like all this work that you've been doing is definitely worth it, and you're having a good time. So celebrate that. Wednesday, be grateful for the work that you've done. Be grateful for the opportunities that have come to you, and be grateful for your own abilities. Embrace your own strengths and your own abilities. Let's see what the book says about the Three of Cups. You are surrounded by those who give you happiness. Remember to acknowledge and appreciate them. Take time with others to celebrate the simple joys of being alive. Be aware of ignoring the simple pleasures of life and not appreciating those around you. This is not a time to focus on your problems, no matter how pressing. Practice gratitude and see what develops. The card for Thursday is the Knight of Pentacles. Similarly, again, to last week's reading, these are kind of following each other. I'm seeing like a story here. I'm seeing progression for you for this year. There's like change and work. And very similarly, after a celebration, it's time to take stock. I'm seeing that Thursday is a day for you to take stock of all of what you've received, all of these opportunities, all the things that you were spending yesterday being grateful for and just recognizing and being aware of. It's time to really take stock of that and to work to not let it overwhelm you. Because you can see in the card that this knight is covered in greens and golds, and it's almost overpowering for the image. And he's looking around because he may not know his way out. With great abundance, there comes a lot of work, there comes a lot of change and a lot of confusion, and you might feel like you're being pulled into this new world or into this change, and you may feel like you don't have any control over the change, but you do. You have to work hard to recognize the place, to recognize the role you play in all of your own success. You have to recognize the role you play in making sure that it doesn't go to your head. So take Thursday to evaluate your success, evaluate your abundance, evaluate the returns from whatever work you've been doing, and find a way to make sure it doesn't overwhelm you. Find a way to make sure that you're in control, that you're making choices, and that life isn't just happening to you. Let's see what the book says about the Knight of Pentacles. You have fought some battles and enjoyed some adventures. Now you'd like to rest and regroup. Maybe spend some time enjoying quieter, more domestic scenes. Take some time off and make yourself feel safe, if necessary. You may need to adopt a protective or defensive stance. Be aware of resting on your laurels or stagnating. If you had a traumatic experience, do not let it paralyze you or become an excuse for not moving forward. The card for Friday is the Star. I'm getting a sense of balance with this card. a sense of more than just balance, but resetting yourself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and getting that it's a good time for you to evaluate your spiritual stance. Evaluate what it is that makes you get out of bed each day. What it is that makes you feel or helps you feel connected with humans and with the world around you. Because it's important to feel connected, and you're putting in a lot of energy into these goals. So make sure that you're checking in with yourself, that you're working to balance yourself, not just physically. Don't focus as much on just the physical changes in your life. Focus on your spiritual growth. Focus on emotional balance and emotional strength. I'm sensing that this is a day where you might need that strength. You might need some emotional empowerment and balance, or it's coming up, and Friday is the day for you to work on that. Meditate. Read books on spirituality. Watch documentaries or shows. Listen to spiritual music. Do whatever it takes to reconnect and rebalance yourself. Refill your well, so to speak. You cannot help people and you cannot continue living an abundant life if you are not healthy, if you're not full. So check in with yourself. Remember that you are a human. Remember that you are a spiritual being. That you are a child of the earth. And reconnect, recenter yourself. Because there is a lot of abundance and growth coming forward for you. There's a lot that you're already working on. But if you're not centered, and if you're not balanced and grounded and spiritually solid, then you're going to have a hard time. So definitely take this time to regroup, to feed your spirit, to replenish your soul. Let's see what the book says about the star. The message of the star is replenishment and faith. Know that the cycles of nature are true and natural, and that after a hard time, a better time will follow. And when it comes, give yourself over to it. Immerse yourself in the cool waters of faith and the constant light of the star. Know that your heart will be refreshed and your faith will be renewed. Be aware of lack of faith, of giving in to despair, of giving up. The star promises hope. Don't lose faith in that promise. The card for Saturday is the Four of Cups. So after you've taken time to enjoy this continuing abundance and this growing goodness in your life, and you've taken time to refocus and rebalance, you're going to realize that the abundance won't stop. It's still coming, and on Saturday you may have another offer. You may have new things coming. Be careful not to spread yourself too thin. Be careful not to let go of old ideas for the new ideas. Don't get caught up in the shiny and new. But definitely be aware of what's already around you. Be aware of all the offers that are coming for you. And similarly to Tuesday, work towards making the right choice. Because you may have a lot going for you right now. And there's even more coming at you. It doesn't stop. You have to be aware of what's coming at you and be aware of where it's coming from and make informed and smart decisions. Let's see what the book says about the Four of Cups. You not only have gifts at your disposal, you are being offered another at this time. At the expense of current happiness, you are focusing on an idealized concept that does not exist. Be aware of the reverse, and do not let go of healthy ideals that guide and shape your life for a shabby substitution. You must know the difference between convictions and fantasies. The card for Sunday is the Ace of Swords. So I think the last week also ended with a sword. On the other end of the spectrum, it had the Queen, and now we have the Ace. And since the Suit of Swords is a sword of more thoughts and like creativity and changing your mindset, and we also have 3 cups in this reading, I am confident in saying that this week is an emotional change week for you. There is emotional growth and a need to be aware of where you're heading spiritually, a need to be careful not to let success go to your head, not to get so used to your success that you don't really work as hard as you were before. And I think on Sunday, it's a day when you should spend some time again in meditation and making choices and making plans and considering your goals and your thoughts. It might be an emotionally enlightening day for you. On the other hand, it might also be an emotionally stressful day for you. If you're not accustomed to using your emotions and expressing them healthily, it might be a day when you're forced to tap into them, where you're forced to really consider your life and consider your goals and consider your spiritual desires. So this week might be an emotional one for you, but it will be one of growth. It will be one of change. There will be some new things coming to you, some new opportunities, and you'll be taking some new directions. If you're finding balance within yourself, then you are making the right decisions and you're on the right path. So just be aware and be prepared for emotional change. Let's see what the book says about the Ace of Swords. You have the gift of thought. Use it rightly to see the world clearly, to communicate well, and to create a happy, healthy reality. Be aware of having a sharp tongue. A clever wit or a desire for honesty are gifts of the sword. Do not use them in a destructive manner. There you have your reading for the week of March 26th to April 1st. Thank you so much for joining me and for liking and subscribing. If you think this reading applies to you or your friends or anyone else, please share it. It will help me out a lot. Thank you again, and remember always that I love you. Bye.